Happy Knitters. A lot of you guys had requested that I show you the yarn over increase on the socks that I'm doing for Jordan, the Flegel heel. As you can see, these are the increases on one side, and you don't see any holes. Now I will say, just looking at the heel as I start the back increase, for some reason on this side I do have a little bit, I don't know if you can see that, a little bit of some gaps in between here. But what's interesting is on this side, it is almost completely invisible. Go figure. So anyway, so I just want to go ahead and show you real quick the yarn over technique for these socks. Now I'm on the back heel and it's time for me to do an increase. And so for the Flegel heel, or for whatever heel that you're doing that it calls for a make one right or make one left, what I do is I knit the first stitch normal. You might want to snug up on that a little bit. Knit the first stitch normal, and then we're going to do just a traditional yarn over. So we yarn over, and then we go ahead and we knit across. Now that yarn over, when we come back around to knit an even row, we're going to knit this yarn over through the back loop. So let me go ahead and knit across for you guys, and I'll show it to you again on the end of this sock. Okay, so now we are almost to the last couple stitches on the end of this first sock, and we are going to continue to knit. Now we've got 2 stitches left on this needle, and what we're going to do is we're going to knit this stitch, and then we're going to do an increase, but we're going to do an increase by doing a yarn over. And then we are going to knit that last stitch. So you would do that same technique on the second sock. Knit 1, yarn over, knit all the way down till you get down to the last stitch. You're going to do another yarn over, and then you're going to knit that last stitch. Okay, come back around and knit evenly on the front instep, and I'll show you what to do when we come to that yarn over. Okay, so we are back now, or back around to the back of the heel, and I want to show you, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but one of the advantages of the yarn over increase is that you know when you've done a yarn over, or an increase row, because yarn over slant. This second stitch here is a yarn over. I know it's probably hard to see on the video, but yarn over slant to the right. And so just by looking at this and reading your stitches, you can automatically tell that, oh my God, I've already done an increase row just by looking at your stitches. So that's a really good advantage to doing a yarn over increase. So now we're back around, and so now we want to actually close up that stitch. So the first stitch we are going to knit normal, and make sure you always snug up on that first stitch so that you do not get any gaps or laddering. And then we are to this yarn over this second stitch. Okay, now instead of going through the front like we would traditionally when we are knitting a yarn over, we're going to knit through the back loop. And basically what that means is I like to pull up on the yarn just a little bit, and we take our needles and we knit through the back stitch. Literally that's all that you do. You knit through the back stitch, and you knit it off normal. Give a little bit of a tug, and that twists the stitch so that you don't have any holes in your work from the yarn over. So I'm going to show you that one more time at the end of this sock, and then that is literally basically it for the yarn over increase. Like I said, it's kind of weird because I have a little bit of slack on this side of the sock, so you can see just a tiny bit of just a little tiny holes, but on this side of the sock it is virtually literally seamless. Go figure. So maybe on this side I'm a little bit of a looser knitter, and that may be the case. So just keep that in mind when you're using this technique, is to make sure everything is kind of tight and snug when you are knitting, doing a yarn over for an increase. So let's finish this up. And we'll get to the end here. And so once you have knit through the back stitch on a yarn over, you won't be able to see a difference. So you'll know that this row was an even row, that there were no increases on this row. So that's a great way to keep track of your increases and your even rows when you're doing increases on socks. This is the first time trying the yarn over increase on my socks. Of course, you can do this on the toe area, and you guys let me know in the comments if you've used this increase before, if you like it, what you don't like about it, and I'll be curious to see if you guys have had any issues with this increase once you've been wearing your socks. Okay, we're getting down to the end, and I have a lot of stitches on this sock because this is Jordan sock, and I almost have 66 stitches on the back needle so far, and I have to increase to 68. So I only have 66. That's all I need to do on this because this is a 68 stitch sock. So the fleagle heel is always 2 stitches shorter than your total number of stitches. So this was my last increase on this sock, but I want to show you guys what it looked like. So we are coming to the end here. Thank you for bearing with me. And we are getting there. So we are almost done. So now, as you can see, you see how this stitch here is leaning to the right. I'm sorry, to the left. I told you earlier the right. I'm sorry, I meant the left. So we're going to knit this one, and you can really see a yarn over once you knit that stitch because it's loose. So like I said, I pull up on the yarn over just ever so slightly, and then I knit through the back loop on it, give it a little bit of a tug, knit it off, that twist to stitch, and you are done. It's really as simple as that. And once again, I'm going to show you what the increases look like. Here, nice straight line of increases. Like I said, there's no holes on this side. On the beginning of the sock on this side, there's just a little bit of a gap. So obviously that's a technique that I need to work on. So you're pulling it a little bit, and so you can see just a tiny bit of holes, just a little bit. And that's why, like I said, I think that's a technique issue for me. But on this side, even if I pull, it's pretty perfect. Okay, I hope you guys have enjoyed this short tutorial. If you have any questions about the yarn over increase, please leave them down below, and I'll try to answer those as quickly as I can. Okay, we'll talk to you in the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye.